Hello, the Stockhead faithful. Good to be back with you again. This week I'll be talking about a North American copper explorer that's had some pretty interesting drill hits over the last few days. First onto markets, all the talk is about gold obviously, trading well over 3,850 US an ounce, just touching a staggering 6,000 Aussie dollars an ounce. Even the high cost producers are 3,500 an ounce, so there's plenty of margin and never been a better time for the gold miners in Australia. The government shutdown, political instability, concerns about US debt, concerns about US growth have been driving gold, and we don't see that peering back anytime soon. Plenty of action on the ETFs, 50 billion of inflows, which is a staggering number for the first 9 months of 2025, and that's investment demand has taken over from central bank activity, which is most of the buying we saw over 2022 to 2024. On the copper front, a bit of upward movement after the sell down over the pullback in the tariffs, but we've had a 2-month rally that seems to be continuing. That's mostly driven by disruptions at Grasberg and Constantia. Grasberg, one of the world's largest copper producers owned by Freeport-McMoRan, had a mudslide, and that's unlikely to come back online at full capacity until 2027. Copper outlook looks tight. Deficits were projected at somewhere between 200 and 400,000 tonnes. That's now blown out to somewhere between 400 and 600,000 tonnes over 2026. So I'm seeing a lot of projections now, well over 12,000 US a tonne for copper. So got a couple of interesting years ahead of us in that market. On to the stock of the week. This is a company I've spoken about a few times. The company is Somerset Minerals Limited. The ticker is SMM. They hold just over 1,600 square kilometres of ground in the southern Nunavut region of Canada. Many of you have been following Whitecliffs Minerals Limited, ticker WCN, who are adjoining the Somerset tenements and also had a pretty good year in the field. The company's headed up by geologist and former private equity participant Chris Hansen. They've just completed 1,200 metres of drilling in the last phase of drilling on the copper mine project. Assays are due in a few weeks. They've just completed an IP and EM survey over Jura North and Jura South. They've completed around 1,500 square k's of geochemical surveys, and they've got a mag survey which is due to finish shortly. So they've hit the ground pretty hard. Many of you would have seen some of the early results. Some pretty impressive intersections, over 40 metres at 2.7% copper. Importantly, not only are they getting grade, but they're able to track this mineralisation along strike. So far, they've tracked mineralisation for around 7 kilometres with surface expressions up to just under 20% copper. And this is supported by, obviously, some pretty good drill hits. So the recent announcement, Jura 8, 12 and 11, all hit visible copper mineralisation, widths of up to 30 metres from 127 metres down hole. In Jura 8, Jura 12 had just under 20 metres of sulphide mineralisation from 130 metres down hole, and Jura 11 hit very intense mineralisation over 27 metres from around 98 metres down hole. So further assays out in the next 4 to 6 weeks. Pretty interesting program. I'm reasonably optimistic that between Whitecliffs and Somerset, they'll either have standalone mines down the track or enough resources to justify a plant in that district. So probably one of the better high-grade copper plays out there, albeit exploration is fairly expensive up in that part of the world. Anyway, that's all for this week. Looking forward to chatting again next week.
For more ASX news and analysis, subscribe below.